Hello everyone, it's Bob Butera with the Yoga Life Meditation Course Lesson 9. Recently we've covered the senses of hearing and sight. Those will not necessarily be mastered in a couple of weeks' time. Especially with listening or hearing, you can use that sound exercise where you isolate one sound during relaxation if you feel like you want to pursue that course of action more, if sounds disturb you a lot. Other people may not have as many disturbances there. Your eyes may dart more, and if that's the case, practice some of the gazing exercises, giving yourself time. That's why we spread a little time out within the course, but even 2 weeks or a month is not necessarily the length that someone might practice that. Now, the same is true with this week's wrap-up of the five senses. Taste is the most dominant, I would say, for most people. And when you eat, you can practice tasting each morsel. You may have heard or read about different exercises where people will take an hour. It's like a Zen exercise, similar to the Japanese tea ceremony, where they eat a raisin, and they touch the raisin, they feel the texture, they think about where the raisin came from, what brought the plant to grow, the magic of fruit, if you will, and they just think about every aspect of it, and then they smell, and and they're touching it, and then they taste. So these last three senses, taste again being the dominant one, especially in our culture, where we have this abundance of food and a propensity to eat our emotions or to have various issues with eating. We're not just eating to survive, obviously. We have such an abundance of food that we now have this chance to just keep eating and eating and eating, and then we have these emotional eating propensities. So if you're someone working with that, you might try some of these exercises where you eat something very slowly. Try to taste it. Try to understand how you're processing the experience of the taste or the sensuality of eating and the aroma and so forth. And again, just try to understand your reactions like we did with the hearing and the sight as a way to gain balance in that part of your life. Now, the second thing we're going to do in this class is a pose I'm going to demonstrate in just a second called the womb pose, which symbolically closes off all five senses, and it really does have a certain power to it. I don't always promote any kind of yoga tricks or whatnot. This is a very old practice, but the fingertips are placed symbolically sealing each of the five senses. So you put them up like this. Now, a lot of people will then stick their arms up. If you can see on this video how my arm is straight out from my ear. If I do that, the muscles in the neck will eventually become really tight. So there's ways of doing this exercise where, if you can see the angle on this camera, how my arms are a little lower. Make sure in class that you really understand how to relax the neck muscles. I won't do that anymore in the video, but I just wanted to demonstrate a little bit, as a lot of people who learn this exercise in our yoga teacher training will often have the arms up too high, and they'll say it hurts, and then they'll become frustrated and so forth. Now, in the exercise, you will feel yourself pull in. Often the image of a turtle can be seen, it can be used. And you may be surprised at, having studied the way you have these other five senses, and then you do this exercise, you may really be able to close yourself off. Again, it's a symbol, but your mind may shut down on the perception, and you may notice a certain level of silence. So many people do this womb pose, and they find it more powerful than the meditation that they were trying to do, because their senses are so active when they're trying to meditate. Again, for me, sitting in our Devon Center and meeting everybody who's doing the course, it's really a joy on this end, and I'm so happy that everybody is doing so well, and I hear good things from New Hampshire and Canada. So we're really happy that things are going so well. It's not necessarily easy, as plenty of people know, but I think every time you make a small step, it's really profound in your own life. So we're very happy about that, and hopefully you'll try this womb pose, really special exercise, and enjoy this week. Special care and observation to your eating, tasting, touching, smelling, sensing, and as usual, have a great week.